Okay, my name is Laura Lim, which is spelled with the Lim. So some people had Lam, uh, Lim, and Lin. Yeah, so we spell with the Lim. My husband came over here in 1950. He played ping pong at the time, and then they had rooms. She told me they had rooms here, single rooms, and it was for bachelors. And then yes, until they had families, and then they have to move. But at the time, people had singing. Also in talking, and they had libraries for the seniors. And then yes, it's quite interesting because everybody had to join together. They help each other at the time. And then yeah, even now they try to help with the seniors if they don't know, if they come from China or Hong Kong, by the way. And then the LIMS Association, they help to translate in English. And then yeah, it's helpful because try to help others, as we always trying to training when we were young, try to help each other. And then we also had the group, to try to stand out and talk to others. And then also have to be teamwork. Everybody have to gather. And then we did have the women's 20 anniversaries communities, and then a few years ago. And then yes, so everybody had teamwork. Everybody selling tickets, and then try to involve in the parties. And then they had lot of work, but people enjoy also to enjoy it, to making corsage, flowers for the parties and everything. And then yes, so it's quite enjoyable. And then my kids also had the school here before, and then computer class. So yeah, so they learned their own names in Chinese word, but for the association right now, I guess they speak in most likely, and they understand a little bit in Chinese, but hopefully they're able to understand more in Chinese. And I joined the associations of 1997. And then because I'm retired at that time, and then one of the women asked me if like karaoke. I said, oh sure. And so I came, joined in to sing karaoke. And then couple years later, and then they wrote me for the seniors women's committee. Yes, for that. So I'm the chair of women's committee, and then yes, and I organize luncheon, and then birthday parties, senior birthday parties, 4 times a year at the time, and then we had cooking class. And then my husband also joined the Tai Chi here, and then yes, and then my husband told me he came over here as 1950, and then he also played ping pong, and then he said the seniors had talking, making friends, and then reading books. And then my 2 other kids, my two older kids, they had Chinese school, and then later they had the computer class, and which at that time is 1980, early 1980. At the time, it's very few people know how to use computer. And then we got the TI for the, when I come out with the TI, and we got the TI for my second son, and then nobody know how to use it. Until the association, they had the class, they said, come and join that computer class, and then teaching each others with the computer. So they learned from that. So it's quite interesting. So, and then also when I become the chairwoman committee, I organize parties, seniors birthday parties, and then it's quite enjoyable because I like baking, I like cooking, but a lot of work. Well, try to get the young people to come here to enjoy themselves, and also, and then we also had picnics. And then, so my family's always joined with the picnics, year picnics of the association. And then we also had the dance class. And then, so the dance class group, they also joined buy the tickets and joined the senior birthday parties. So I got friends. And then the karaoke is quite nice, and then I like singing, and then because singing you got the temper out and then the energy out, it's quite nice. So yes, we had, and then later people had the Chinese opera, Chinese singer opera, so which is it's nice to hear, but for me, I kind of lost voice on that. So I like singing karaoke. So just plain, but that dancing and karaoke is quite nice. So and then we had I taken a couple of Mandarin class. My husband taken Mandarin class here a few times, and then quite enjoyable. That's why I always get my family here in order to understand of the association look like, and I said this is a must. You have to join in like a picnic, seniors birthday parties if you're able to come, and then which is enjoyable if one of the sisters come and then the brother come too. They have to come in a group, not single to have fun that way. But also the limbs help, and my daughter did help, do the MC for 3 years before she married, which had the anniversary dinner in May for the year anniversary dinner for the Limbs Association. Yeah, and she enjoyed it to be MC, and she learned from that. Yeah, so it's quite, learn something as you do it. So it's quite understanding. Chinatown, because the Chinatown, they had a lot of, varieties before, and then a lot of building being torn out. So hopefully it would get back together as a Chinatown because everybody moved. And then because the shops closed. So, hopefully, get back together because a lot of shops have been closed since COVID. And then, hopefully, the people able to get back in here as a Chinatown shopping, because I always come shopping every day in Chinatown. Yeah, because more varieties. Then we live in Burnaby, but also I always come down here. I never missed it. Well, hopefully they do have the come in with the website. So so they would understand more, and they would join in the associations. Yeah, so because this is really like a family. So it's quite, that's why I tell my children to come and join and see what's happening, because you are one of the limbs, right? And then, so what happened to the limbs and also the ancestors, we always, bison, as, because my husband's great grandfather and mother, they always had the sin there. And then, so I said to my children, you always have to respect the ancestors, and then to come and join. No matter what, you have to come. So they came. So they came with a picnic, the Chinese New Year's, and then sometimes seniors' birthday parties. Yeah, they join in that. So very nice. Hopefully, the generation to able to do that. Now, every family, to give us support. Well, we do have a few years ago, we did have the luncheon. We, every woman, to go in the kitchen, and then we involve for the luncheon for $2 a ticket, to get the meal here. Is quite, because it's a teamwork, everybody together working in the kitchen. So we have the kitchens, all the facilities and so on. As everybody involved, they spend a few hours here, and they also chit-chat about their life, this and that. So it's quite interesting to get involved, to have this kind of, because we belong to the association, we had somewhere to go. Yes, because a lot of people feel alone, as I said, and then they don't have anywhere to go. But you go together and spend the time together, as in the kitchen or in here. So they also like a family, and then they kind of probably introduce themselves, and to get to know each other, and then probably they advise you what to do, and then because a lot of people need advice, you're listening, and then they advise you on other things, and then you also gave them advice, and they gave you some advice, yes, to do that. Okay, these are the pictures that my son got married, and they had a party here for everybody, my daughter-in-law, and then all the food here provide, and then there are a lot of people here, and also got the barbecue, the suju bison, yes, and then this one. And then we had the line. We also had the dance here that we practice, and then people join in for the seniors' birthday party in the line dancing, and then this is our anniversary party here, and then this is my whole part of my whole family, because my other son in the U.S. So this is a family in Vancouver, and these is associations. The Lin, they're all here. Yes, so it's. I used the had this karaoke here, in Chinese, and then also I had the Tennessee Waltz. I used to sing.
Do you have a favorite song to sing?
Tennessee Waltz. And the wedding. Well, they usually don't have women's committees until we start in 1993. Yes, 1993 at the time. So as when we, within a few years later, and I joined in 1997. So they vote me for the women community. So and then for my retirement, I love to do that, and then I learn a lot. And then because they had a lot of activities, and then when try to make dim sum, and I learned, I love to make, I know how to make, but I find that other people's different style and different making it, and so I copied them, and it's very interesting because I learned something which I haven't noted before. And then probably they learn something from me, and I make ginger, the sesame ball, and then I learned quite a lot also, when I doing it. So I love to do, and then yes, and that's why we had the luncheon to get everybody involved as in teamwork, to do the luncheon and charging people only $2 a lunch, which is quite a few portion. And then after the lunch, they enjoy themselves. There's some singing in there and some dancing here, and they had 7 tables MJ. So it's quite enjoyable because everybody enjoyed that afternoon of of that lunch. So I find it very good to get the people involved, back to the back to the to the loneliness. Some people live by themselves, and then and I find it very helpful to have this kind of association to do. And we don't have to pay anything to do that. I mean, to come in, So it's quite nice to talk to people, and then sometimes you talk about your problems, and they then tell you about other things to solve the problems. It's quite well. Sometimes they had family problems, and then they tell me in private. And then, so that's, yes, and then when they talk out, it's better off for them, have somebody to listen, but I don't gossip back to what it is, So it's quite, so I tell them too sometimes, to my problems, but they don't, I'm sure they don't tell back what I's gonna do, but I listening, but also I tell them probably advice, and they advise me what to do too. So it's interesting, very interesting.
Sounds fun.
Oh yes, yes. I mean, sometimes you don't really understanding to a friend of they could keep a secret or not. So this one is quite like the people, and then certain type of people, and in order to share your secret with.